I don't want to be somebody who follows rules. I want to have fun. That's what life's all about. Life's short. Live it up. That's what they say. And when you have the kingdom of God, when you participate in the kingdom of God, it's completely different. Jesus taught that the kingdom of God is attainable, it is reachable, it is accessible. When you start acting the way Jesus did, when you start incorporating his teachings into your daily lifestyle, that is when the kingdom of God, it breaks forth and it triumphs over everything else. I had the fortunate chance to participate in the kingdom of God. It was either August or it was a month before that. I'm not sure. But my good friend, Dustin Dummel, who came and preached for you all a while ago, very good guy, love him to death. He called me up and he said, "Hey, Barrett, you want to go to Reds game?" And I'm not really much for baseball. Sorry for you baseball fans. I'm not really much for sports, but I'm not much for baseball. And because it's just boring. You know what I mean? To me, it's boring. Sorry if you think it's awesome. You're sleeping halfway through it anyway, so it doesn't make a difference. But he asked me if I want to go to the baseball game, and he said, "Hey, I have all-you-can-eat seats. All-you-can-eat eat and drink seats." And I was like, okay, free Coke and peanuts. I'm there. Regardless, I'd watch a ballet. I'd watch paint dry for free Coke and peanuts. You kidding me? That's awesome. And so he bought these tickets, and he invited me, and we were with a couple other people that I didn't know. And two of his friends, really good friends, who said they were going to go, didn't go. And they had other things to do, and he was so upset about that. So he's like, "Fine, I'm going to invite some people who really want to go." So we go to the baseball game, and Dustin and I find two homeless guys that are outside. And we just went up to them, and we just said, "Hey, we have 2 extra tickets, and we just want to know if you want to come eat and drink with us. All you can eat, food and drink. Just come and enjoy the evening with us, no strings attached, whatever." And these guys were like, "Oh, okay, we'll go, that sounds awesome, let's go." And they're locked into the gate with us, and they have no idea that we're actually being serious about our offer. And we get up there, we give them our tickets, and their reality started to set in for these people. And they're absolutely shocked. Why on earth would you do that? Because the tickets, which Dustin paid for, he could have just scalped them, or he could have sold them back. He would have gotten his money back, and that's the right thing to do. That's the fair thing to do, right? If they're yours, just get your money back for them. But it is selfish, but not a bad way, right? It's selfish, because you're thinking of yourself, right? Yes. You're thinking of yourself. You're thinking about getting back what you've already put into it. But Dustin was able to invite these 2 men who didn't have any food, any money, anybody to talk to. And they came out and enjoyed an evening with us. Very fun. I think it was very interesting just to talk with them, hear their stories, so on and so forth. I don't recommend that for everybody, because there are 2 freshman Bible college students there with us, and they had no idea what to do. And if you've ever encountered a homeless person, if you've not done it before, it's very awkward. It seems very kind of, the relationship, the immediate relationship and social response between you and another person, it's kind of weird. It's unsettling. And to have to sit next to that person and talk to that person and hear your not preferred language or your preferred jokes or whatever, it's very difficult to do. So I don't recommend that for everybody. But these 2 Bible college students had no idea. They were like, so where do you live at, man? They just don't know what to do. But Dustin and I, being super Christians, I'm glad. When I think that you should be laughing, and when you start laughing, are 2 different things. I should slow this up. But, when we look at the person of Jesus, we see who he is and who he hung out with, sinners that he ate with. We don't see it really much any different. We felt like as though if Jesus were there in that situation, he would have probably made the same decision, if not a better one. That's the kingdom of God. That's participating in the kingdom of God. To access the kingdom of God, it means that we have to prefer everything else. We have to prefer the kingdom of God to everything else in the world. That's what the parables are communicating. The kingdom of God is like this priceless object that when we see it and we become a part of it, we're going to prefer it to everything else in the world. I have participated in the kingdom of God, and I try to do that daily, especially within the lives of people. And I can't tell you, I wouldn't trade it for anything else in the world. To see somebody go, wait a minute, you're actually going to do that for me? I've not done anything to deserve it. I've not done anything to you. I've been horrible to you. I've not treated you well. I don't deserve this. My own family won't even help me. You wouldn't trade it for anything else in the world. You know, at Christmas time, when you were told, hey, it's better to give than to receive, and you thought they were full of baloney? They're not. It's amazing. And if you actively participate in the kingdom of God, you know what I'm talking about. You know that feeling of saying, hey, I'm here to pray for you. Or I'm here to give you whatever you need, so on and so forth. And that is what the kingdom of God is like. Now, what are some applicable ways that we can employ this participation in the kingdom of God in our everyday lives? What's something we can do? Well, whenever you trade your interests for someone else's, you've participated in the kingdom of God. Whenever you decide to live what Jesus lived and taught, you participate in the kingdom of God. Whenever you decide to be a servant in a world where God is king, and you're willing to say, okay, God, you're king, what do you want me to do? You participate in the kingdom of God. And if you genuinely look for it, and you find it, you're overjoyed. Guess what happens? You prefer it to everything else in the world. Just like that merchant who comes across the pearl. Just like that man who stumbles over that treasure in that field. You prefer it to everything else in the world. Now that sounds very vague, but it provides you with this opportunity to demonstrate your creativity and your willingness to make this world a better place. A lot of preachers, and I'm sorry if I sound bad. I don't like preachers, because I am one, and I know how we are. But a lot of preachers will spoon-feed you application, will spoon-feed you what you should do throughout your weekly life, and then come back here next Sunday. You need to be able to demonstrate your creativity and demonstrate a willingness to want to participate in the kingdom of God. You want to know how to do it? Anything that involves loving God and loving people, you're participating in the kingdom of God. And you're going to find it that it's more preferable than anything else in this world. So, this week I will leave you with a question. Everyone take a big, deep breath in and then hold it. 1, 2, 3. How will I participate in the kingdom of God this week? I'll ask it again. How will you participate in the kingdom of God this week? The disciple asked himself or herself the question every morning, right when they wake up. How will I participate in the kingdom of God today? The believer, well, they come to church every now and then. How will you participate in the kingdom of God this week?